Going to sing 2 verses each. Okay, and we'll go around this way, I guess. This way today. Nadia nagore nitai neche neche gaire. Jashomati stanya pai Shri Nandanandana. Indra Nila Mani Braja Janera Jivana. Shri Gokula Nishachari Putana Ghatana. Next 2 verses are yours. Dushya Chinavata Hanta Shakata Bhanjana. Navanita Chora Dadi Harana Kushala. Jamala Juna Bandi Govinda Gopala. Damodara Vrindavana Govatsara Kala. Next 2 are yours. Bhaka Shatru Agahanta Brahma Vimohana. Dhenu Kana Shanna Krishna Kaliya Damana. Itambara Shiki Pichadhari Venudhara. Bandira Kanana Lila Davana Lahara. Natabara Guhachara Charata Vihari. Balavi Balabadeva Gopi Bhaskahari. Yagyapati Gon Krati Karunara Sindhu. Govardhana Drik Madhavraja Basi Bandhu. Indra Dapa Harinanda Rakshita Mukunda. Shri Gopi Balaba Rasa Krida Purnananda. Hari Hari. Shri Radha Balaba Radha Madhava Sundara. Lalita Vishaka Adisaki Praneswara. Nava Jaladhara Kanti Madana Mohana. Bana Malik Mera Mukhi Gopa Panadana. Vivangi Murali Dhara Jamuna Nagara. Radha Kunda Ranga Nitara Sera Sagara. Anjali. Chandra Bali Prananata Kautuka Bilashi. Radha Mana Sulam Pata Milana Prayasi. Manasa Gangara Dani Prasuna Taskara. Gopi Saha Hatha Kari Brajavanipar. Gokula Sampada. Gokula Sampada Gopaduka Nibarana. Durmada Damana Bhakta Santa Paharana. Suryasana Mochana Shri Sankachurantaka. Ramanuja Shama Chanda Murali Badaka. Gopi Gita Shota Madhusudan Murari Narishta Ghataka Radha Kundari Bihari Vyomantaka Padma Netra Keshi Nishudana Manga Krida Hamsa Hamsa Madhu Praharana Vasudeva Sutta Vrishni Vangsha Kirti Dhaja Dinanatha Maturesha Devati Dhaja Kubja Kripa Moya Vishnu Shauri Narayana Dvarakesha Narakagna Shri Jadu Nandana Shri Rukmini Kanta Satyapati Surapala Pandava Bandhava Shishupala Dirakala Jagadisha Janadana Keshavatatrana Sabhavatara Bija Vishvera Nidana Maheshwara Yogeshwara Brahma Teja Dhara Savatma Atma Patra Bhukta Kritira Para Ajita Pavana Jagannatha Savishwara Vrindavana Chandra Sabara Serakara Nagare Nagare Gauragani Bhakati Vinoda Tachupa Saraswati Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Len Pandita Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Nitai Gaura Hari Bo Nitai Gaura Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Nitai Gaura Hari Bo Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bo. So you have chanted 220 names of God and more, because I'm not sure that Krishna was in there and Hare was in there. So anyhow,
and more.
So we chanted 100 names of Mahaprabhu and 120 names of Krishna. Please excuse me. In Italy they say, you must look warm. Here, we're actually toasty.
Finally.
Not fine. What finally?
I mean, like, it's always been quite cold in here in the room.
Oh, it's been quite cold. Well, I think the devotees chanting has helped. All right, so let us come to the reading, because yesterday we had half an hour, but it was very short to read 2 books. So let's come to the reading. You're already online, so whoever's there. Jai Shriman Shri Guru Gauranga Sunda Radha Giridhari Ju Ki Jai. Jai Shrimati Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Shri Rupanuga Guru Vaga Ki Jai. So reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta, continuing our reading. Hare Krishna, Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra, Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Oh, but I was reading from the book yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Oh dear. So, the book, Chaitanya Charitamrta, Antya Leela, chapter 4. Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrta ki Jai, Shri Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami ki Jai, Hare Krishna.
Srila B.R.Madhusudan Maharaj ki Jai.
Now this is Prasadam flower, Prasadam garland from Nityananda's appearance day.
Beautiful.
Yes, beautiful, this, everything.
You need to show us how to do it.
Share the
Knowledge.
secret, yes, share the art. Govinda, Govinda. All right, so dear devotees, we're reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta. And, oh yes, we're in Jagannath Puri. And Mahaprabhu said to Sanatana Goswami, stay with me at Jagannath Puri for 1 year, and after that I shall send you back to Vrindavan. After saying this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again embraced Sanatana Goswami. Thus immediately Sanatana Goswami's itches disappeared, because he had all the itches from the water in the Jarakanda, and his entire body resembled the color of gold. Seeing the change, Haridas Thakur, greatly astonished, told the Lord, this is your pastime. You made Sanatana Goswami drink the water of the Jarakanda, and you actually generated the consequent itching sores on his body. After thus causing these itching sores, you examined Sanatana Goswami. No one can understand your transcendental pastimes. After embracing both Haridas Thakur and Sanatana Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to his residence. Then both Haridas Thakur and Sanatana Goswami, in great ecstatic love, began to describe the Lord's transcendental attributes. This is where we ended yesterday. So as the Americans say, there are no Americans here, now we are up to speed. We get up to speed. Okay, we're up to speed. So beginning Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Leela, chapter number 4. And text number 206. E Mata, in this way. E Mata Sanatana Tahe Prabhustane Krishna Chaitanya Guna Kata Haridasasane. In this way, Sanatana Goswami stayed under the care of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and discussed the transcendental qualities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with Haridas Thakur. Okay, Dola Yatra Dekki Prabhu Thare Vidaya Chilla. Sarasa, can you get my specs? They should be either on the desk or... Oh, there is no drawer, so they must be somewhere nearby.
Maharaj, wouldn't it be easier for you to make it lower?
Do what?
No, to lower this part?
To lower this?
Yeah, would you like?
Oh, you would like? What the Vaishnavas
I
like?
felt like you weren't so very comfortable with it.
Is this the only spec you have? On the
Yeah. I'll tell you about the other specs later. The others, I have the other specs, which are variable ones.
But I've seen you without, I was thinking you're not using the glasses now.
Well, not if I can make the text bigger, but when you do this on the book, it doesn't make it
I was
bigger.
wondering, and now the mystery is solved. You're still using glasses.
Yeah. But the other ones, the variable ones, I almost feel seasick trying to make it work. It does something strange, so I've tried them. Okay, now. So they did get the writing crisp and clear. I thought it was printed fuzzy. Not at all. Okay. So after they saw the Dol Yatra festival, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed Sanatana Goswami fully about what to do in Vrindavan, and then bade him farewell. So that in Bengali, so text 207, Antilila chapter 4. Dol Yatra Dekhi Prabhu Tare Vidaya Dila Vrindavane Jay Koribena Soba Shikaila. Next verse. Jay Kale Vidaya Hoila Prabhura Charane Dui Janara Vicheda Dasha Na Jaya Vanane. Some of the verses I do understand. This one I don't. So the scene of separation that took place when Sanatana Goswami and Mahaprabhu took leave of one another is so piteous that it cannot be described herein. The scene of separation that took place when Sanatana Goswami and Mahaprabhu took leave of one another is so piteous that it cannot be described. Hare Krishna. Next verse. Sanatana Goswami decided to go to Vrindavan. So, indeed, Krishnadas Kaviraj, that's it. I mean, he's told us he can't describe it. So he left it like that. Next verse. Sanatana Goswami decided to go to Vrindavan by the very forest path Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had traversed. So he wanted to go the same way that Mahaprabhu had gone. Sanatana Goswami noted from Balabhadra Bhattacharya all the villages, rivers and hills where Mahaprabhu had performed his pastimes. So Balabhadra Bhattacharya had accompanied Mahaprabhu when he went to Vrindavan, and through the forest, through all the different ways he went. So Sanatana Goswami, he chatted with Balabhadra Bhattacharya and made a note of where he went, and then he wants to go in the same place and go to the same villages. Like we are always happy to go where Gurudev went, Guru Maharaj went, Prabhupada, where Srila Prabhupada went. We are very happy to go. Mahaprabhura Bhakta Gane Sobare Milya Se Pate Chali Jaya Se Stana Dekhya. So there we are. Sanatana Goswami met all the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then, travelling by that same path, visited the places through which Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had passed. Next verse. Jai Jai Leela Prabhupate Koila Jai Jai Stane. So whatever Leela he did in whatever place, Tahan Deki Prema Veshe Hoya Sanatane. Seeing, when he saw that, he was very, very happy. Sanatana was very happy. As soon as Sanatana Goswami visited a place where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had performed his pastimes along the way, Sanatana Goswami was immediately filled with ecstatic joy. Mate, in this way, Sanatana Vrindavane Aila. Sanatana to Vrindavan reached. Pache Asi Rupa Gosai Tahare Milila. In this way, Sanatana Goswami reached Vrindavan. Later, Srila Rupa Goswami came and met him. Ekkavatsara 1 year, Ekkavatsara Rupa Gosaira Gaure Vilamba Hoila. Gaure in Bengal, Vilamba delay Hoila. Oh, here, Rupa Goswami was delayed 1 year in Gauradesh. Kutumbera Stiti Ate Vibhaga Koridila. He was dividing his money among his relatives to situate them in their proper positions. Gaure Jay Artachilla Taha Anaila Kutumba Brahmana Devalaye Banti Dila. And how he did? He collected whatever money he had accumulated in Bengal and divided it amongst his relatives, the Brahmanas, and the temples. Thus, after finishing all the tasks he had on his mind, he returned to Vrindavan, fully satisfied, like leaving clean. The brothers met, Rupa Sanatan, met at Vrindavan, where they stayed to execute, oh my goodness, the will of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay? English expression, your English lady, to execute the will of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not to kill anybody. Hare Krishna, short purport. Sri Chaitanya manopishtam stapitang yena bhutale swayang rupa karamayam dadati svapadantikam. Quote, when will Srila Rupa Goswami, Prabhupada, who has established within the material world the mission to fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya, give me shelter under his lotus feet? That's a quote, and then Srila Prabhupada saying, Srila Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami were previously ministers directly in charge of the government of Nawab Hussain Shah, and they were also householders. But later they became Goswamis. A Goswami, therefore, is one who executes the will of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The title Goswami is not an inherited designation. It is meant for a person who has controlled his sense gratification and dedicated his life to executing the order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, Srila Sanatana Goswami and Srila Rupa Goswami became genuine Goswamis after dedicating their lives to the service of the Lord. And this theme is everywhere throughout Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's teachings and throughout Srila Prabhupada's teachings. They do them in particular, saying how the caste system is a caste isn't caste system, a caste is by qualification, not by birth. A doctor's son, you don't just go and, oh yes, my son, here's the scalpel, go and take out his appendix. You know, he needs to have some qualification to do that. Doctor's son isn't just a doctor straight away. Anyway, so this theme there. Nana Shastra in various scriptures, Nana Shastra ani luptatita udharila Vrindavane Krishna seva prakasha korila. Sri Rupa and Sri Sanatana collected many revealed scriptures, and from the evidence in those scriptures they excavated all the lost sites of pilgrimage. Thus they established temples for the worship of Lord Krishna. And why did they do that? Because Mahaprabhu asked them to. Seva was given to them in this way. Sanatana Grantha, the books of Sanatana. The Sanatana Goswami compiled the Bhagavatamrita. From this one book, one can understand who is a devotee, what is the process of devotional service, and who is Krishna, the absolute truth. This is Krishnadas Kaviraj telling us this in this book. Sanatana Grantha Koila Bhagavatamrite. Bhakta Bhakti Krishna Tattva Jani Jaha Hoite. Then next verse. Siddhanta Sara Grantha Koila Dashama Tippani Krishna Leela Rasa Prema Jaha Hoite Jani. But we don't read this book, we worship it because this is for the liberated souls. So Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj saying, Srila Sanatana Goswami wrote a commentary on the 10th canto known as Dashama Tippani, from which we can understand the transcendental pastimes and ecstatic love of Lord Krishna. And next verse, Hari Bhakti Vilas Grantha Koila Vaishnava Achara Vaishnavera Kartavya Jaham Paye Para. He also compiled the Hari Bhakti Vilas book, from which we can understand the standard behavior of a devotee and the full extent of a Vaishnava's duty. And the guidance that we have been given and the parts of that book that we've seen translated for guidance for doing the worship of the deity, for doing so many things, you think, wow, it's not possible by us in this age. But here you see, Vrindavan Thakur has said, we can understand the full extent of a Vaishnava's duty. I mean, if really we were fully qualified and fully this, fully that, then we would do these things. But when you read it, and Gurudev one day is reading, and he's reading, and I expect it was from this book, but he had a book and he's reading, and he's saying, here it is saying, and I think it is Hari Bhaktivilas, he was saying, what is the duty of a disciple when he comes and sees his guru? And the first time you meet, so many things. The second time you meet, so many things. And each other time, so many things. And then Gurudev was reading it, and it was mentioning, I can't quote exactly what it was, but like it was extensive. You have to bow from the east, the west, the south 3 times, for, whatever different times. Say this mantra, these things, when you come in front of the Guru. And then there's Gurudev sitting. We were in Dum Dum Park, the original veranda. And then Gurudev sitting, reading this. And he said, we are seeing this. But if I just want some Garam Jal, and I call my devotee, I just want some Garam Jal, then it's going to take him 20 minutes to finish doing all these things that are listed there. But anyhow, somewhere there should be the full description of all the behavior. And you see, Gurudev and Guru Maharaj have given us the full description applicable for us, how to behave, what to do. And we should try to do it, and that's why all the temples should be as representative as possible of Navadip Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, which is what Guru Maharaj and Gurudev gave us as our example. So we try our best. Okay. Rupa Gosai Koila Rasamrita Sindhu Sara Krishna Bhakti Rasira Jaham Paye Vistara. And Rupa Goswami also wrote many books, the most famous of which is Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. From that book one can understand the essence of devotional service to Krishna and the transcendental rasa one can derive from such service. And you've probably all read some of that book. It's Srila Prabhupada's book, The Nectar of Devotion. Mm-hmm. And when you read that book, how somebody knows all the steps, the intricacies, the names, all of these things of the different mellows, overlapping mellows, sub-mellows, sub-qualities, qualities of Vaishnavas, qualities of Vishnu, sub-qualities, main, It's a whole science book. It's like reading like a specialist physics book, which has got all these descriptions of quantum theories and equations and all these things like this. But it's like the science of Krishna consciousness. So anyhow, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, given by Rupa Goswami. So, and showing, at least we can understand, that it is all known to those specialists. It's not just some dreamy thing someone's, imagined that, there must be a very nice world somewhere, we'll make up some story about Peter Pan and this, that and the other. It's not like that. And they're showing the whole science.
This is very, very surprising for someone who gets into the Krishna consciousness and comes from another religion, from another core of beliefs, like myself. Very surprising. This so very detailed way of describing things. Science,
yes,
by definition, describes how the world functions, and it's really the word science is really so very much appropriate. I feel like, because it's so very much descriptive. You say that?
Descriptive, yes.
Incredible.
Clear.
And in so very many details. This is very surprising, yeah.
And we were never taught about these things in school. Yes. Instead, 5,000 years ago, maybe, I don't know what age they say, they were learning to use tools or something like that. We've been in the forests and now we're learning to use a tool. But look what language they spoke, and look what they gave within that language. But the world, mostly the world wants to be blind to these things and say, no, what we discover with our telescopes and with our thing. But it misses the vital point, as Srila Prabhupada repeatedly says, but they can't solve birth and death, old age and disease. Only giving some promise for the future, but no one can do it. And similarly, giving a promise that, from stone we can get life. Oh no, one day we'll be able to get life from a stone. Okay, but make something now. Just make a little worm or something. But not. Anyway, let's come to the book. because here we've got the flow of purity. And the point is that it is known to those who know, and they've left a record. And they've left a record with the masters who purely following everything and coming from that plane, because this is all coming from masters. The whole Chaitanya Charitamrta is coming from Krishnadas Kaviraj. He's giving it. It's not that it's somebody sometime in the past gave, we don't know who, but we know who. And in a similar way, the books of Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada, scripture doesn't have to be 5,000 years old or 500 years old. From the modern time of the ambassadors who brought this Krishna consciousness all over the world, like we are seeing Rupa Sanatan, Jiva Goswami, etc., taking everything to Vrindavan, but now the whole world with Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev, we have this, and so it's not only that saints and sadhus from the past. Oh, in the past they sat in the mountains and did this, that and the other. Okay, next verse. Oh, clock, fast. Srila Rupa Goswami also compiled the book named Ujjvala Nilamani, which we don't read. By the way, we worship. Don't put your fingerprints inside the book, only on the outside. Remembering Shruta Shavaprabhu. He prayed. One devotee, Gurudev went to his home, and because Gurudev, when they are traveling, and this is in America, devotee Shruta Shavaprabhu, who became Sripad Vaishnava Maharaj, and Gurudev was in his home, and Gurudev looking on his bookshelf, and I must admit, bookshelves are always attractive. You look on the bookshelf, and he's looking on the bookshelf, and then Gurudev sees, oh, you have Ujjvala Nilamani, this book, and one or two other the books, the high books, and then Shruta Shavaprabhu, he said, yes, Gurudev, the books, that section there, those books, they were given to me, so what to do? But Gurudev, you will not find my fingerprints anywhere inside the book, only on the cover. That he said, never open. Gurudev liked that. Okay, so Srila Rupa Goswami also compiled the book Ujjvala Nilamani, from which one can understand to the fullest limits the loving affairs of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. Srila Rupa Goswami also compiled two important dramas named Vidagdha Madhava and Lalita Madhava, from which one can understand all the rasas derived from the pastimes of Lord Krishna, all the different tastes, joys, ecstasies, and the different relationships with Krishna. Another book, Danakeli Kaumuda Adi, so that, and heading, Laksha Granta Koila, thousands of books. Se Saba Grante Vrajira Rasa Vichara. So Rupa Goswami compiled 100,000 verses. Acha. So Srila Prabhupada is kind of telling us something more than the verse, but that's also perfect to help us understand. Srila Rupa Goswami compiled